good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
After the Fever
I
score,
ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
I don't love how you went to the press conference and wouldn't answer a question about it, quite frankly. If you want to understand how this thing goes, I'll give you a little advice.
Caitlin Clark single-handedly changed the WNBA. She brought record-breaking viewership, packed arenas, and an entirely new level of excitement to the league. But as much as she transformed the game, there was one major problem. She had no real protection on the court. Opponents were taking shots at her, and her team wasn't doing much about it. So what changed? Let's find out in today's episode. Caitlin Clark's first season in the WNBA was anything but easy. From the moment she stepped onto the court, it was clear that she was not just another rookie. She was the biggest name in women's basketball, the player responsible for bringing unprecedented attention to the league. But with that attention came a level of physical play and scrutiny that very few players have ever had to deal with.
Boston setting powerful screens, opening up Clark.
Obviously, AB has probably, the most experience to what I kind of had to deal with coming in here, being the #1 pick and coming to this franchise.
During her rookie season, Clark faced a staggering amount of physical abuse. Opponents targeted her with hard fouls, body checks, and unnecessary contact. At one point, 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA had been committed against her. That is an astonishing number for just one player. It was not just about playing tough defense. It felt personal.
Can you kind of, on the flagrant, did you feel like that?
The basketball play.
Yeah. Did you feel like that was the appropriate call, or?
Many current and former players had openly expressed jealousy over the attention she was getting, and it showed on the court.
I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold.
Despite all of this, Clark still had an incredible rookie season. She averaged 19.2 points per game, and after the Olympic break, that number rose to around 23 points per game. She broke multiple records, including the single-season assists record for a rookie and the all-time rookie scoring record. She was named Rookie of the Year, was selected as an All-Star, and even finished 4th in MVP voting. Very few players in WNBA history have had a better first season than Clark, but even with all of her success, something was missing. While she put up big numbers, her team, the Indiana Fever, struggled. They finished with a losing record and were eliminated early from playoff contention. One of the biggest reasons for their struggles was the lack of toughness on the roster. Throughout the season, Clark's teammates would help her up after she was knocked down, but that was about it. There was no real retaliation. Opposing players knew they could get away with taking cheap shots at Clark because there was no one on the Fever willing to step up and send a message. This is a big problem in professional sports. When a team allows its star player to be targeted without consequences, it invites more abuse. In basketball, having a tough physical presence on the team is crucial. Historically, teams with star players have always made sure to have enforcers, players who may not be the most skilled but are there to protect their teammates. This was the case in the NBA during Michael Jordan's early years. Before the Bulls started winning championships, Jordan was constantly getting hammered by teams like the Detroit Pistons.
Watch this NBA fight. It's a beaut. Charles Oakley of the Knicks and Xavier McDaniel of the Sonics, they squared off in the Garden last night, folks, and they meant business.
It was not until the Bulls brought in players like Charles Oakley and later Dennis Rodman that teams started thinking twice before going after Jordan. The WNBA is no different. Teams need toughness, and Clark's rookie season proved that the Fever needed to address this issue.
Breaking news. Draymond Green is going to train with Caitlin Clark. Y'all been pushing her, roughing her up since she got in the league. Draymond finna train her to do some wrestling moves.
Even NBA players like Draymond Green, who is known for his physical play, pointed out that the Fever needed an enforcer to protect Clark. The presence of a tough player on the court can change everything. When opponents know there will be consequences for dirty play, they are less likely to go after a star player. The Fever's management recognized this problem, and during the offseason, they made moves to fix it. They did not just focus on bringing in more talent, they also focused on adding toughness. They brought in players who are not afraid to get physical, who will step up if an opponent tries to take liberties with Clark. This is going to make a huge difference in Clark's second season. She has already proven that she can handle the physicality of the league, but now she will not have to do it alone. With a stronger, tougher team around her, she can focus more on her game instead of constantly worrying about being targeted. Beyond just the physical aspect, there is also a psychological factor. When a player knows they have teammates who will back them up, they play with more confidence. They take more risks, attack the basket more aggressively, and play with a different level of energy. Clark is already one of the most confident players in the league, league, but having teammates who will fight for her will only make her better. This is not just about Clark. It is about the future of the WNBA. Clark has brought more attention to the league than any player before her. Viewership numbers skyrocketed during her rookie season. Attendance went up and merchandise sales hit record highs. She is estimated to be responsible for around 27% of the league's total revenue. This is a league that has struggled financially for years, and now, for the first time in a long time, there is real optimism about its future. But if the league allows its biggest star to be treated like this, it sends the wrong message. Fans do not want to see a player like Clark get repeatedly knocked down without consequences. It hurts the product, and it could even discourage future young stars from wanting to play in the WNBA. That is why this offseason was so important. The Fever's front office knew they had to make changes, not just to improve the team's record, but to protect their most valuable player.
They were up in the first quarter. The Fever getting their first win last night in Los Angeles. That's got to be pretty tough, I would think, on Caitlin to just really be patient with herself and with her team.
And that's not a virtue of Caitlin's. She's competitive.
They understood that talent alone is not enough to win in the WNBA. You need grit, toughness, and a team that will fight for each other. Clark is still young, but she is already showing signs of being a generational talent. The numbers she put up in her rookie year were impressive, but they are just the beginning. With a tougher team around her, she has the potential to reach an even higher level. The Fever's roster moves this offseason were about more than just basketball. They were about sending a message. They were telling the rest of the league that cheap shots will no longer be tolerated. They were telling Clark that they have her back. And most importantly, they were taking the first step toward building a championship team. Clark's second season will be one of the most anticipated in WNBA history. The league has never had this much attention on one player before, and the expectations will be higher than ever. But now, she will not have to do it alone. The Fever have built a team around her that is not just talented, but also tough.
So what was your reaction initially to the trade, and how have you felt about your time with the Fever, even just in this month so far?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm so excited. I think it's refreshing. I've been in Phoenix for the past 6 years, was drafted out there.
The first and perhaps most important move they made was replacing their head coach. After the 2024 season ended, the Fever decided to part ways with Christy Sides. While she had done some good things with the team, it was clear that her coaching style did not fully align with what Caitlin Clark and the rest of the squad needed. Clark herself hinted at the lack of in-game support, saying she wasn't receiving much advice or adjustments from the coaching staff. That's a major issue for a young player trying to navigate her first professional season. To fix this, the Fever brought in Stephanie White, a proven leader with a track record of success. White was named the WNBA Coach of the Year in 2023 while leading the Connecticut Sun. She has experience coaching high-level talent and knows how to create a winning system. This hire sent a clear message to the rest of the league. The Fever are serious about contending right now. White's presence immediately made Indiana a more attractive destination for free agents, and the front office wasted no time taking advantage of that.
The signing of Natasha Howard represents a massive step forward for the Indiana Fever and their quest for a championship. In Howard, the Fever gain a 3-time WNBA champion, a Defensive Player of the Year.
One of the biggest additions was Natasha Howard. She is a 2-time WNBA champion and was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2019. She brings elite defensive skills, toughness, and leadership to a team that needed all three. Howard also has familiarity with the Fever, as she was originally drafted by the team in 2014. Now she returns as an experienced veteran ready to help elevate Indiana to the next level. Then came another massive signing, DeWanna Bonner. She is a 2-time champion with plenty of playoff experience and has been one of the most consistent players in the league for years. At 6 feet 4 inches, she adds size and versatility, allowing Indiana to be more flexible with their lineups. Bonner is also a strong leader who can mentor younger players like Clark and Aaliyah Boston, helping them navigate the ups and downs of a WNBA season. One major advantage of signing Bonner is her previous relationship with Stephanie White. She played under White in Connecticut, which means she already understands the system and what is expected. That familiarity should make the transition smoother and help speed up the team's development. The Fever also made another key move by trading for Sophie Cunningham from the Phoenix Mercury. Cunningham has built a reputation as one of the league's toughest competitors. She is known for her fearless attitude and ability to stand up to anyone on the court. Some people see her as an enforcer, while others argue she is simply a hard-nosed player who refuses to back down. Either way, her intensity will be a welcome addition to Indiana's lineup. These moves also take some pressure off Caitlin Clark. Last season, she had had to do so much for the team, often facing double teams and rough physical play. Now, with better teammates around her, she should be able to play a more balanced game. She won't have to force as many shots or carry the offense alone. Instead, she can focus on running the team efficiently, knowing she has talented teammates who can take some of the scoring load.
So I was like, just be available, and then everybody was like, shoot it, and then John Crow came out my face, and then I took a bounce, and I was like, oh gosh, and I was like, gotta shoot it, and so I shot it. But I did hold my follow through.
You sure did, and I feel like we won a championship, okay?
Another benefit of these additions is that Clark will likely face less physical wear and tear. Players like Bonner, Howard, and Cunningham bring toughness and grit, meaning Clark won't have to take as many hard hits every game. The Fever are sending a clear message. They will not allow their star player to be bullied on the court. Aaliyah Boston, who had a strong rookie season, will also benefit from these moves. She now has experienced front court teammates in Howard and Bonner, which should make her life easier. Instead of constantly battling double teams, she will have more space to operate. Boston's growth is another key factor in Indiana's success, and these veteran additions should help her take another step forward. The Fever's offseason changes also mean better overall play calling. Last year, their offensive sets often lacked creativity, making it easier for defenses to key in on Clark. While there are still some question marks, there is no denying that Indiana is now a much stronger team. They have added championship experience, defensive toughness, and scoring depth, all things they needed to improve. The Eastern Conference is tough, with teams like New York and Connecticut still among the favorites, but the Fever are closing the gap. Clark's numbers could improve significantly with these changes. She is already one of the best young players in the league, and now she has the pieces around her to unlock even more of her potential. With better teammates, coaching, and overall team chemistry, it wouldn't be surprising to see her become an MVP candidate sooner rather than later. So what are your thoughts on this? Comment them down right now, and while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more upcoming uploads.